The political parties jostle to see whose ballot box question or ballot question is going to prevail. Because the interesting thing is that the different parties have different questions they want the electorate to focus on.
It's impossible to know because that's what the campaigns are for. And the ballot box question is often not at the end what people thought it was going to be at the beginning. And again, to go back to the States, an illustration would be when this election campaign started, it was about the Iraq War. And now it's not about the Iraq War, it's about the economy. And that's changed the dynamic of that whole election campaign and turned it all topsy-turvy.
It's hard to tell, in the first week because things change. But, it's all about direction, whether it's about economic direction, environmental direction, about the direction of leadership. It all boils down to the direction the country's moving in any number of different major issues. Right now, the economy is a huge issue. It's affecting everybody, especially in central Canada in a negative way, and other parts of Canada in a very positive way. That doesn't mean you ignore it. It means you get involved in deciding how it's going to best serve your region, your country.
I think the ballot box issue in this campaign is going to be about the country's economic future and how we're going to be able to keep the economy moving in the future and creating jobs for all the new Canadians that are moving into the job market. The last 10 years or so have been pretty good ones for the Canadian economy and for the world economy as a whole. Things are getting a little bit tighter around the world. Things are starting to slow down a bit in the United States and elsewhere. If I were looking forward to trying to find my first real job in the next couple of years, I'd be paying an awful lot of attention to what the parties were saying about how they're going to keep the economy moving forward and keep us creating jobs for the future.
The early polls tell us that health is very important, that the environment is something people want to know about, and that Canadians in this period, fall 2008, are really worried about jobs and the economy. All those things being true. But what they also are telling us is that there's a huge shopping list underneath that of many different things, so that there isn't really perhaps one burning issue that Canadians want to talk about. And you know what? I think that's good. I think the discourse should be wide and varied. Someone asked me recently, do you think the internet is a distraction from the campaign issues? And I said, well, only if you think not hearing from people is distracting. The internet is about campaign issues. It just depends. It may be something small, it may be something large, but it's a full menu of campaign issues. Campaign issues, to me, should be what Canadians care about, period. Not what the leaders have decided are issues, but what Canadians really want to talk about. And why not use the election time, those 5 weeks, to talk about it? So if your interest is really about your cousin who's in Kandahar, or if it's your dad can't get a hip surgery operation, or if it's I'm drowning in student debt, all those things should be ballot box questions. I don't like the idea that someone decides for us what should be the one or two things that we should vote on.